Hey everybody, it's Obtuse Lolcat back with more Let's Play Dark Souls. Last time we took out New Londo and its masters, the Four Kings, in only 2 tries. I was pretty impressed with myself. And this time, before we move on to taking out the rest of this game and going to the final area, there's a ton of stuff that I can do before that. So even though at this point we can go to the final area, take out the final boss, complete the game, I am not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to spend a couple episodes doing other stuff that I can do before then. So, with that, in between this episode and the last, I went ahead and put on my shirt, put my shirt back on, and I also looked at my endurance, or my equipment load, figured out I can wear the black iron gauntlets, and it puts me exactly at half of my equipment load. So that is, I'm going to be sticking with this setup for a little bit, at least until I get more endurance. Maybe eventually I'll be able to wear Havel's gauntlets, because they only weigh a couple points more than these black iron gauntlets, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. One quick thing before I get started with all my other random crap is how to join the Darkwraith Covenant. I didn't explain this last time, and I meant to, but I was running short on time, so I figured I'd save it for this episode. Basically, those Darkwraith guys, those are members of the Darkwraith Covenant. Either the invaders that are red, or, you know, the guys down here in New Londo that you see, those are Darkwraiths. And you can get those, that armor that they wear and the sword that they wear from advancing in the Darkwraith Covenant. Now, to join the Darkwraith Covenant, what you do is you come and you kill the Four Kings before planting the Lord Vessel with Frampt. Now, you don't even have to have the Lord Vessel in order to be a Darkwraith. Just as long as you kill the Four Kings before you plant the Lord Vessel with Frampt, then another Primordial Serpent named Darkstalker Kaith will show up down here next to the bonfire after you beat the Four Kings, and he will offer to plant the Lord Vessel, or take you to the Firelink altar to plant the Lord Vessel for him, and then he will offer to let you join his covenant. So that's pretty cool. That's how you join the Darkwraiths. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Valley of the Drakes, and I'm going to meet you at that door that you can open with a master key really early on. I went there in episode 2, I believe, and I'm going to pick up something that I can get because of a certain summon that I did. So I'll meet you there. Alright, we're here at that door that you can open early in the Valley of the Drakes, and if you're like me and you've summoned Witch Beatrice at least once, you can actually summon her for the Four Kings as well as the Moonlight Butterfly. Then you can come over here on this very precarious ledge and pick up the Witch set, which is the stuff that Witch Beatrice wears, so that's pretty cool. And her Catalyst, which is not pretty cool. It's kind of lame, but the Witch set, it's got some decent stats. It's although it has no poise, I think if you upgrade it, it can get some pretty good stats. Cause see, it's 33 already, and you can upgrade it. I think it's Twinkling Titanite. I might be wrong about that, but it gets pretty good, and it's got like this little popped collar look going on, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Also, another thing that I noticed while I was doing some research in preparation for this episode, see how my Estus flasks are +4? Well, it turns out that, well, although Estus flasks can go up to +7 once you get enough Firekeeper souls, at +4, they heal 650 HP. And guess what? I have 637! So that means that no matter what, if I drink an Estus flask, I get a full heal. So that's pretty cool. It also means that, for the time being, I don't have to worry about getting any more Firekeeper souls. Which is good, because in order for me to get any more Firekeeper souls in this playthrough, I would actually have to kill Firekeepers themselves, because I've gotten all the ones that you can just find on the floor. So yeah, that's cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Andre and give him that very large ember that we picked up in New Londo, and make some stuff with it. So I'll meet you at Andre. Alright, here we are at our friend, Andre, the MMA fighter, secretly. Oh, you guys will get to see that soon enough. Andre is quite the unarmed combat expert. But he sees something shining in our pocket. And no, it's not that, viewers, it's the ember.
My years in the trade, that might be the finest. How's about?
You calling me fine? Okay.
I'm just an old smith. I'd give my left arm for a gem like that.
That can be arranged. Alright, give me your arm.
Thank you mightily for that. Now, just leave the rest to me.
You're gonna give me your arm, right?
Restorer gets the job done. You shall see.
Hey, you said you'd give me your arm. Yeah. But, since we've done that, now we have the upgrade to +11 option, which I am going to take advantage of. Now, as you can see, I've gained about 10 Titanite chunks through my various exploits through this game. So I actually have a pretty decent pool of resources with which to upgrade my Eagle Shield, which I will do. Get at least up to +14. And, I don't know if I should actually use my slab on it, but look at that. If you use your slab on it, it gets up to 84 stability. Now that is a very stable shield. Yeah, you know, I think I'll just save that. If I feel the need to make it +15 later, I can do it at a bonfire. But yeah, that's really what I wanted to do here. If you're wondering how you're going to be able to see Andre as an MMA fighter later on, I actually plan to, right before I go to the final area of the game and take out the boss, I'm going to go through and kill a lot of the NPCs for your guys' viewing pleasure, just so you can see sort of their fighting styles and what you get for killing them. And I gotta say, Andre is a freaking beast, man. He is like, oh man, you think he'd fight with that hammer, but he doesn't. He just comes at you unarmed. He does like drop kicks and oh, he's vicious. You'll see. But now the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the Darkmoon Tomb and show you the Darkmoon Covenant, as well as some other interesting stuff around Anorlando. Excuse me. Alright, here we are at the Darkmoon Tomb, and see this giant statue of the great Lord Gwyn. Well, oh, I'm still wearing the Covenant of Artorias. Huh. Well, if you come over here and you put on the Darkmoon Seance Ring, not only does it grant you additional attunement slots, but it makes Gwyn go away. And down here, after I take this off, let's get the belling back on. Down here, this is where you can join the Darkmoon Covenant.
Halt. This is the tomb of the great Lord Gwyn. Tarnished it shall not be by the feet of men. If thou art a true disciple of the Dark Sun, cast aside thine ire.
Mine ire?
Hear the voice of myself.
What is ire? Does that mean like anger or something? The Latin scholar inside me says it means anger. I don't know.
O disciple of the Dark Sun, thou hast journeyed far. Hear my voice. If thou
Alright, I'm listening.
swear by the covenant to become a shadow of Father Gwyn and Sister Guinevere, a blade that shall
Oh, Guinevere, I like her.
of our lords, then I shall protect thee, safeguarding thy person with the power of the dark
The
moon.
Dark Moon. Yeah, sure, I'll join this covenant. And voila! I am now a member of the Dark Moon Covenant. For that, we get the Blue Eye Orb, the Dark Moon Blade
Now
Ring,
thou
whatever
art
that was
blade of
called.
the
I
dark moon,
accidentally
the enemies
canceled
of
or
the Lord
dismissed the
by
message or
power
whatever.
of the dark sun.
Alright, cool. And if you have souvenirs of reprisal, those little adorable dried ear type things that you get for possible drops from the harpies. Do I have one of those? Oh, I do. Cool. That's the covenant item. That's the only thing they're used for, is for advancing in this covenant. Now, if you offer enough souvenirs of reprisal, you get up to 10, then you get the Miracle Darkmoon Blade, which is quite overpowered. It adds basically a crap ton of magic damage, scaling with your faith, of course, because it's a miracle, to any elemental, not elemental weapon, like just plus 15 standard stuff that doesn't already have elemental damage. So yeah, and it's really cool. That's a really dang effective miracle. I like to use it for taking out ganks, because ganks deserve no mercy. But if you're wondering why, or if this person is a man or a woman, well, that's a very natural thing to feel. This is Dark Sun Gwyndolin. He actually is the son of Gwyn, not the daughter. Apparently, when he was born, he was like, his something was associated very closely with the moon, hence dark moons, and the moon is seen as like a feminine symbol or something, so what do you know, they raised him as a girl. So that's why he sounds like a girl, and when you see him eventually, spoilers, we're gonna see him, he wears kind of feminine looking clothing. So that's interesting, just an interesting little bit of lore there. And as he said, his sister is Guinevere, and we're gonna go pay a visit to her right now. Because well, I have something I want to say to her, you know? Alright, here we are, the Chamber of the Princess, and there is the princess herself, Guinevere, the sister of Gwyndolin. Or is it? Yeah, this is actually not the sister of Gwyndolin. This is an illusion. It was set up by Gwyndolin, who is the last remaining actual deity in Anor Londo, as sort of a to trick adventurers such as myself into taking the Lord Vessel, planting it, and linking the fire. Now that gets into some really deep lore stuff about how the normal ending of linking the fire is actually, it could be construed as not being the good ending, but I'm going to get into that in more detail later. For now, what I'm going to do is get rid of this illusion. I'm shooting her right where it hurts. Yep. Let's see what Gwyndolin thinks of me now.
Thou that tarnisheth the godmother's image.
Godmother? I thought she was your sister? I don't know.
Thy transgression shall not go unpunished.
I highly doubt that.
Thou shalt perish in the twilight of Anor Londo.
Thou shalt perish. Oh, I'm so scared, Gwyndolin. So scared. Yeah, but for doing that... Oh, hello, stranger. You're spiky. For doing that, we get Anor Londo plunged into twilights, which is kind of interesting. It makes most of the enemies go away, and it actually gives us 2 new enemies down there where the Royal Sentinels, the Royal Giant Sentinels or whatever normally are, and I'm going to go and show them. Plus Gwyndolin is angry at us, and now we can fight Gwyndolin as a boss. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of ironic, or not ironic, but just kind of interesting that I joined the Darkmoon Covenant and then immediately betrayed it, and now I'm going to kill its master. But, you know, that's just the way things go sometimes. So, yeah, down here, these 2 new people, these are... I've commonly heard them referred to as Balder Knights. I don't know what they actually are. I know the female one, that one right there. That, what I just did, by the way, is a way that you can aggro one of them at a time. I know she's wearing, like, full Balder clothing, so yeah, I can understand why she would be called a Balder Knight, but the other one, he's wearing, like, full black iron stuff, and, I don't know, and, like, a greatsword, which is actually an ultra greatsword moveset, but it's called the greatsword. I don't know. Yeah. But in any case, I one-shot them with Homing Crystal Soul Mass. They give 5,000 souls each, so that's pretty cool. This is actually a pretty valid way to grind in the game. Just keep on doing that, and then homeward boning, and once you homeward bone, they will respawn, and you can go back and kill them over and over again. So if you're looking for some grinding, that's not a bad place to do it. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to the Darkmoon Tomb and take out Gwyndolin, because I think that might be one of the last bosses in the game. It might be the last boss in the game for me, besides the final boss, obviously, that I haven't killed. So I'm definitely going to want to show that, because that's interesting. This is an interesting boss fight. So if we head on down here, over to where we joined the Covenant... He's mad at us. See, we can't even kneel anymore to talk to him. You can actually get your sins forgiven by, what's his name? Oswald? I think it's Oswald. Oswald of Kareem that pardons your sins. And you can actually rejoin the Darkmoons in Twilight Anor Londo, which is interesting. But I'm not interested in that. Gwyndolin specializes in magic attacks. So for this, I'm going to wear the Crush Shield. Now, I think with the Crush Shield, I can... also wear Havel's gauntlets and still be under a 1/2. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So, this fight, just be ready to avoid some magic, and basically, it's an interesting fight in that Well, you'll see once we get past cutscene time.
Heretic.
Heretic. Man, that brings back memories of Halo.
First thou offendeth the Godmother.
What a great game.
Now thou see fit to
This game and Halo.
the great Lord.
The Tomb of the Great Lord, huh? So this is where Gwyn is?
Gwyndolin,
Well then why isn't this the final area?
for thy felonies commenceth.
Commenceth. That's hilarious. But as you can see, the fight hasn't actually started yet. He's just kind of sitting over there. And he teleports away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out my Homing Crystal Soul Masses. Basically, that's the gist of how this fight is going to go. He's going to be standing there doing stuff, and then teleport away. And basically, you have to be quick enough to run towards him. Now, when you see him raise up like that, that means he's about to do this little arrow, or like pointy stuff. Ow! Get him, get him! There we go. That means he's about to do that little, the little tons of tiny arrow type thing attack. And when you see him waving his hand around like that, it means he's about to do that attack, which does tons of damage, as you saw. Except it's quite easily avoided by simply rolling. Ow! Oh jeez, man, not a good time to cast. So as you can tell, it's not a horribly hard boss fight, but if you make a mistake like me, he will capitalize on it. So I'll meet you back at the start of the boss fight. Alright, I guess it plays the cutscene again, but I've already seen it. So let's get going. I see my retrieval back there. Oh man. For that one, the tons of little soul mass looking things. Ooh, that was a close one. Basically what you want to do, roll over behind one of these little barriers over there, and it should be pretty easy to avoid. Come on. Come on. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him! Now, what am I doing? I should get like a soul spear ready, just in case I get the opportunity to use one. Ow! Man! Man! That is crazy. I just want my retrieval. Woo! That's a close one. Alright. We're doing good. We're doing good. Get out of here. There we go. And that is how you do it.
Swathed in dark,
Heretic.
an eternal curse upon thee.
Now that, when he says an eternal curse upon thee, it actually does happen. There actually is a curse on you for the rest of the playthrough. And not to mention this hallway is now no longer infinite. Yeah, for the boss fight, is temporarily made an infinite hallway, which is cool. That's a really cool boss design, actually. Good job, FromSofts. But that eternal curse that he mentioned, it is real. Basically, that gives you the sinned status for the rest of the game, which means that Dark Moons will permanently be able to invade you, at least until you start New Game Plus. And I think it might do some other stuff, I forget, but I know that it at least gives you the sinned status pretty much permanently. And for that, we get the Sunlight Blade miracle, which is, it's basically like Dark Moon Blade, except you can use it without being in the Dark Moon Covenant, which is pretty useful if you just killed Gwyndolin, so it makes sense for that to be here. And in that one we get the brass armor. I don't know if I've really gone over her in detail, but the Firekeeper near the first Anorlando bonfire, that's the armor that she wears. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool looking armor. And in this chest, nothing. We find nothing. That's kind of interesting. I have no idea why this is here, but it has nothing inside of it. That's... I don't know, man. This is the Tomb of Gwyn, though, by the way. Can I smash this? Oh, yes, I can. Yeah, take that, Gwyn. But this, I have no idea why they did that. I don't think anybody does. There's probably some theories out there, but I have no idea. But now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go back to Firelink Shrine, and I'm going to show you Dom Hall of Xena's new inventory. Now, there's a reason I waited until after I killed Gwyndolin to do that. So I'll meet you there back at Firelink Shrine. Actually, I lied. I ended up recording for a really long time. I tried to estimate at where around 20 minutes would be to end the video. I was egregiously wrong. So here, actually at around 20 minutes, is where I'm going to end the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to wait until next time to find out what Dom Hall's new inventory has in store for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Obtuse Lolcat. I'll see you guys next time.